Hey everybody, it's Darryl, and I'm going to do a video getting away from the stuff I've been talking about at the moment. I'm going to talk about seed dispersal mechanisms in plants. I found a flower I've never seen the style of its seed dispersal mechanism before. Maybe it's common, but something that people might know about. So I'll just turn the camera around and show you this kind of flower bush and how its seed dispersal works. So we've got this plant here, and it has these little things that look a bit like a fruit hanging on it, and these, I guess I don't know if they're fruit or not, but here's some more. So I don't know what they are. They're glossy and they seem like they're a fruit, but they're not really. They're from this flower, so that's what the flower looks like. And I'll just find one. So when these fruit things dry up, they become dry and they look like this. So here's one here that's dry, but when you flip it around, see if we get some focus on that. When you see, it's got a kind of a Fibonacci layer of petals. Now you can just break this whole thing off. Generally, let's see if it works. And so you can see it's got a Fibonacci spiral of flakes in there. So these are they're like flower petals, sort of like a pine cone. But as they break apart, you can see that each one has a seed on it, and it just falls apart. So I guess how this works is on a windy day, the thing starts to unravel and the flakes break off one at a time. So I'll go elsewhere in the garden. So here's a bit of soil where there were some big sunflowers that have kind of gone away now. This is, forget what it's called, hibiscus maybe. But now if I just take these, now these will just flutter, they'll just flutter down. It just unravels. So if you just turn it over, the flakes just flake off, and each flake has a seed on it, and they just sprinkle down. Oh, some caught in the spider web. It's okay, but I can just let those disperse. There you go. Yeah, till there's sort of basically nothing left of it. Last few seeds in the center there. Yeah, it's just a really nice autumn day here, and that's how that seed dispersal mechanism works. I've got another one I can show you on the swamp plant. So the swamp plant is called a swamp plant. The swamp plant is called a swamp plant because it grows these little things on it, and they quite often look a little bit like a swan. They've got a body and a neck and a head, and that's why it's called a swan plant. So the pods, when they dry up, they tear open, and you can see there's a whole array of seeds here, and each seed is on a little silk umbrella-y thing, and they look like this. So here's one here, and there's one seed attached to all that fluff. So we'll just grab a couple of these. So, and here's my hand. Let's see if I can get a good view. Now each of these things has one seed and a bunch of fluffy silk, and they just spread apart, and they float around on the wind, and they blow around, and then they land wherever they land. And they can drop off their seed, or if another wind gust hits it, it can pick it up again and blow it around a bit more. So they'll normally just break apart and float around each single one. So that's how they go. Oh yeah, that one's gone.